Hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of the Perfect 10, specifically the Perfect 10 mindset. Tis I, Aubrey Warwick, and if you are new to this group, I want to say hello and welcome. I'm going to take off my Clark Kent glasses here. There we go. Do you still recognize me? All right, a little too much glare. But right now, we are kicking things off today by first and foremost, I want to welcome you to this free challenge. So we're gonna let the feed start to roll through. And I want to let you know that as we're doing that, I wanna know where you're tuning in from. So I see Kelly just jumped on and my husband is to the left of me. He is literally my left-hand man because he is left-handed. And I don't have anyone to my right, so it's just him and I, but making sure that you guys can have a really great virtual experience. I see Cassie jumping on, thank you. We have almost 100 people signed up for this challenge today. And I wanna thank you guys for reaching out and just being curious about what the Perfect 10 is. So first and foremost, the Perfect 10 was created by yours truly about 2 years ago. And it has taken on just a different life of its own. And I've really been so grateful to help hundreds of women over the last 2 years improve their mood, their metabolism, and their health overall. So if you did not already get a chance to download your P10 guide, make sure you do that. So let's see, we got KJ jumping on. Hello, hello. I'm gonna ask you all to play full out with me. So there's a couple of things that we wanna do is step number one, start to close out the different tabs of your mind or on your computer or on your phone. See if you can swipe away any of those distractions because for the next less than 60 minutes, you're mine. No, we are gonna work together in really focusing on you. And we're gonna close the gap from where you currently are to where you want to be. All right, so we're gonna close that gap. That is my number one priority. Now listen, gang, we all have the same 1440 of the day. That's 1,440 minutes of the day. And devote to yourself just a little teeny tiny piece of saying, you know what, I'm gonna go all in, I'm going to focus and not lean into ADD, ADHD, or all the distractions. I know it's hard. So we're gonna play full out and I'm gonna be asking you different questions so that I know that you are being present in the moment. So drop in the comments, yes, if you are ready to close out that tabs. Just give me a yes or an amen, whatever speaks to you. All right, so the things that you are gonna need today to get started are, number one, your P10, your Perfect 10 manual, that if you did not get it yet, make sure you drop in the comments P10 me and we will make sure that you get your VIP copy directly sent to you without further ado. Now, some of you are not virgins to this program. So if you are a veteran, feel free to let us know. And you're obviously back for a reason. And I wanna know what that reason is. I wanna know all about you guys. All right, the other thing that you are going to need is your journal. So journaling and putting good old fashioned pen to paper is going to help train a part of your brain, the subconscious brain, that sucker that, you know what, runs the show. When we put pen to paper, this is going to help seal the deal and commit to your commitment because I have a very special and secret ingredient that you have to stick around to the end to know about because with it, any diet, any workout program will work, but without it, you plan to fail. All right, so we need those two things. We got our P10 manual, we got our journal, and I'm gonna say water on the rocks. You think I'm well hydrated? Yeah, okay. All right, so where's everybody tuning in from, Dan? Give me some feedback here.
We got Pittsburgh, we got Greensburg.
Pittsburgh, Greensburg.
another Greensburg.
Okay, all
Western
right.
Pennsylvania is represented.
We got the Western Pennsylvanians representing, and I know it's really, really cold in Western PA. 'Tis the season, and I want to go over the protocol for Perfect 10 because it does start with a cold beverage, but we're going to make sure that everything else on the program is really conducive to keeping you warm and cozy and on track. All right, so before I go over that, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Aubrey Warwick. I have been in the business of helping women fall in love with who they see in the mirror for the last 2+ decades. And I myself have really worked very hard to help people on behavior change. Essentially, gang, I'm a behavior change coach. So too often I hear this, well, Aubrey, I know what to do, but I'm just not doing it. Or I've reached this stage in my life where I've gained weight and I can't lose it. My body seems to be fighting me. And I want to thank you guys for answering my poll, my POLL that I dropped in this group, because it helps me really see the area of struggle, right? That bone of contention where it's like, why am I not able to get from point A to point B? All right, so some other things that's important to know about me. I'm a degreed and certified exercise specialist, nutrition expert, a TV fitness expert for the last 10 years, as well as I owned and operated a pole dance studio for 14 years. And the reason why I tell you all this is because, like you, I'm a busy lady. I also have a 9-year-old son, and I'm married to the one and only Dan DeSteven, who he's going through Perfect 10 with us as well. But the reason why I tell you this is that I'm very passionate about what I do for a living, but I didn't always feel connected to my body. In fact, I went through a lot of struggle, probably since the age of 12 with my relationship with food. I've had various eating disorders, and I grew up as a dancer where the mirror seemed to turn against me, and I used it to compare myself a lot. And I was bound and determined to change that relationship with food, with who I saw in the mirror, and just to understand, this idea of Aubrey and what is she all about. So a lot of you might resonate with that, where right now you look in the mirror and you might feel like, you know what, there's something off. My body's talking to me, and I can see the visual representation of maybe a collection of my habits over the past year. But what has happened is there's a part of the mind that is just not matching up with what you want. So get your pen and paper ready. Okay, this is what we need to focus on right now. There are 3 parts of the mind. We have the conscious mind, which we know what's going on. You see me as the talking head right now. We have the subconscious mind, which you've heard before is really running the show subliminally. And then we have the analytical mind. That part of the mind that is the monkey mind that overanalyzes and takes us down the rabbit hole and can also derail us. Now, it's not your fault if you feel like you are not getting where you are meant to be. And I'll tell you why. Is because sometimes we haven't unlocked that next level. My son has just gotten into video games, and I can relate a lot to saying like, well, sometimes you need to practice that level before you beat it to unlock the other one. And that's why some of you might have done Perfect 10 a couple times, because you're like, okay, that worked, but maybe it didn't stick or it didn't last. And gang, some of you might need more than 10 days working with me in order to make these results last, and that is A-okay. So what we are going to lean into right now is being radically honest with ourselves. This is a safe group, and I truly mean it. Gang, there's no judgment here, but I need to hear from you for real. Because if you think for 1 second that I haven't seen it or done it or believed it, guess again. Because you are preaching to the choir. There is no shame to the game. We are going to start to let that go. I want you to make sure that you stick around with me because, again, I'm going to be showing you a secret ingredient at the end of all this to make this sucker work. Okay, so drop in the comments the amount of weight you would like to lose. And it doesn't have, I don't mean just in the next 10 days, but just say, like, Aubrey, this is the amount of weight I want to lose. Maybe you want to maintain your weight. You could say maintain, but lose body fat. Maybe you want to gain muscle mass. You could say that. Whatever it is that you want, if I was your genie and you were going to rub that lamp and you get 3 wishes, what would those 3 wishes be? Ladies, I want to know. Okay. The other thing that I want you to focus on it through the next 10 days is to remember why you're doing this. Oftentimes people forget their big dub, and it's their why. When the going gets tough, we suddenly want to retreat, and virtual programs like this are really easy to do it, right? So I want you to first and foremost commit to me, and you're going to drop in the comments a little heart emoji. And this heart emoji represents the love that you're going to put into yourself over the next 10 days. Now, if you're not starting today, if you're starting tomorrow or Thursday, that's fine too. But you have to have that commitment to say, you know what? I am going to show up for my freaking self, and I'm going to follow through even when it gets pinchy. All right. Show me some love. So the part of our mind that we are going to start to strengthen is absolutely that subconscious part, where the cool thing is the people who are the most disciplined in life. I want you to maybe think of someone who's like really disciplined. They're always getting after it, following through, crushing their goals. They have a part of their brain that is bigger than others. All right. They got a big one, man. And it is called, if you want to write this down, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. This part of the brain actually gets bigger when we start to exercise our discipline muscle, essentially. When we start to override the old programming of, wait a minute, man, you know what? Nobody's going to know if I eat this. Nobody's going to know if I skip this workout, or I don't have time for X, Y, Z. We've all been there, right? We've all, no matter what the goal is, it doesn't have to be fitness wise. It could be financially, where we start to blow ourselves off. But if we just break that pattern once, then we start to cut off that old neural pathway that has been triggered time and time again to say, yeah, see, you let yourself down, right? Yeah. And that's what this program's all about. We're going to not do that. Okay. So I'm going to back up here just for a minute. And
got some responses
yeah.
to how much people want to lose.
Yeah, we're going to hear some responses here. So
7 pounds, we got 30 pounds, 8 pounds, 15 pounds.
Yep.
A lot of people that want to keep their muscle and maintain that.
Okay.
Brenda Lee wants a goal for herself to show that she can achieve something big.
Absolutely. I love that. And while you guys are declaring that, I want you to write that down in your journal, because when you reach a juncture, let's say maybe it's this weekend where somebody's like, oh my gosh, I just made these amazing cookies, or hey, Aubrey, do you want a nice gin and tonic on a Friday night? I'm going to say, no, thank you. That's a complete sentence. And then I change the subject. Because do I really want that gin and tonic? Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want a chocolate chip cookie? That makes us feel good in the moment. But you know what's going to make you feel freaking great is when you wake up the next day and you're like, oh, look at me. I said no thank you. Right? And I'm going to help you get you there. This group is going to help get you there, because the accountability we're going to count is very crucial to this program. So the average weight loss, for those of you who commented that you want to lose some weight, the average weight loss for this program, if you do it to the best of your ability, is 4 to 6 pounds. But the only way that you're going to know if you get there is, guess what? You're going to do the first uncomfortable thing today. Some of you have already done it. The first uncomfortable thing that you are going to lean into full force, take a head or two, is to measure. You have to weigh your body today. You have to take your pictures that like the examples that I posted, front, side, back. You have to measure around your belly and your booty. You can measure other girth area, other circumference spots, but those are the two that typically we see the most drastic improvement. Okay. And you got to play full out. So oftentimes people skip this first step where they're like, yeah, I'm going to do it, but I don't want to see pictures of me. Why don't you? I remember my first pictures that I took when I was about to embark on my first transformation after I was at the height of my binge eating disorder. I carried the most weight on my body. I'll post pictures of it in this group I have before. And I looked at those pictures and I cried. And I thought, Aubrey, what is going on with you? What did you do to yourself, right? And the only person I had to answer to was me. But guess what? I had a coach. I had that coach for on the days that I doubted myself, which there was a ton. He was the one person that believed in me. And thank God for him, because he became an earth angel to me. So that is the first thing that you have to do, my ladies, is you have to make sure that you document this. Do not weigh yourself every day unless you feel like pissing yourself off. I highly don't recommend that, because then we are just validating ourselves. Oh, look, I lost weight because I went to the bathroom. Oh, look, oh man, I gained weight. No, just on day 1 and on day 10. That's all you need to do. Okay, same with your girth measurements. We cannot, you can write this down feverishly, we cannot manage what we don't measure across the board, right? I can wish upon a star and I can manifest on my vision board that I want to be a millionaire. But if I don't look at my bank account frequently through the week and see what my spending is, guess what? That $1 million ain't gonna drop from the sky. I wish it would, but it's not. So, can I get a thumbs up or a heck yes or an amen or whatever you want to do? A high kick on that. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the other thing that I want to make sure that we are all doing is reading, right? Not reading, not half-butting it. And I'm talking to myself. Read through the entire packet. It's not going to take you long. I know at first people open it, they're like, it's 26 pages, oh my gosh. Yeah, there's lots of pictures in it, and there's different video links that you click on, different active links. This is so important that you just sit down and go front to back, because you're going to be incentivized to know the method behind the madness. Do you know how many times the people are like, Aubrey, just tell me what to eat and I'll eat it? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, because it might look like that on page 23 when you see like, oh, this is what I have to eat. Yeah, read what I'm saying first leading up to it. This is an example format, because some of you might need more food, some of you might need less food, but this is the bare minimum and this is a protocol. So that is number 2, read through, and we're gonna go through that protocol right now. So if you've not read this yet, or if you need the friendly reminder, repetition is the mother of all skill. Not said by me, said by Tony Robbins. So we're gonna repeat this. So the reason is why I've chose the title of the Perfect 10 is that because it takes up to 10 days for the liver to fully cleanse or detox. Technically, if you do a full cleansing protocol, you have 9 days. Now, maybe you only do this program for 3 days. It's better than 0. Yeah, don't be mad at yourself. Congratulate yourself. Okay, but let's say you're like, I'm going to play full out because I want my liver to cleanse and detox. Why do we want to do that? Your liver, my ladies, is essentially the star of the show. We are bombarded all the time with like, hey, improve your metabolism. Hey, perimenopause got you down. Menopause kicking your ass. Or maybe it's just like, hey, you're a female. It's hard, right? We have all this stuff coming into our feed, yada, yada. Here's the deal. Your liver metabolizes fat and toxins. Do we know that? I think we all probably know that. You don't even need to chat GPT that, right? So as we know that, and our liver is the only organ that actually regenerates itself. It's a pretty freaking fascinating organ. But chances are, if you have body fat to lose, and here's a hard truth, if you have body fat to lose, you got too much fat and protein in that liver and too many toxins. Liver can't do its job. The liver cannot do its job. And in order for the liver to do its job is to be like, hey girl or guy, hey, I want to help you shrink those fat cells. Hey, I want to help you with your joint inflammation. Hey, I want to help you not feel so dang cranky every 5 seconds. We just have to clean it up a little bit. We got to clean house, right? We got to do some dusting, some vacuuming so that the liver can do its job. So when you start to look at this protocol where we have lemon water, we got an all fruit smoothie, we have whole foods in the diet, there are 2 ways to look at this. Actually, let's say 3. The glass half full, the glass half empty, or both. What type of person are you? I'm curious. When you looked at this protocol, were you like, oh wow, this is great, I love all these things? Or were you like, wait a minute, I can't have fill in the blank. I can't have nuts, I can't have eggs, I can't have dairy. Those are both can be true because the glass half full and the glass half empty, those are both facts, right? But which way do you lean towards? Chances are as an adult, you're leaning to see what is not on here. That's what we look at right away. But then I want to shift your focus because write this down too. What you focus on, you find. We're not going to focus on right now what we can't have. We are going to focus on what we can have in order to clean up our liver. Because gang, and I'm going to be dropping so many little quotes here. If nothing changes in your diet this week, then nothing's going to change. It's just like me wishing that I was a millionaire, wishing for it to rain money. You have to make these changes to get a bigger AMC, anterior mid-cingulate cortex. We're growing that part of the brain. Okay, so in order to do this, it might feel a little crunchy, a little pinchy, but it's going to be well worth it in the long run because when you step on that scale in 10 days, when you take your pictures, maybe you don't lose a single pound. People have not lost any weight on this program, but they look at their pictures and they're like, holy crap, look at my abs, I can see them. Or wow, I really lost a lot of weight in my midsection. Your body was thanking you. That's how it's going to treat you. Okay, so anyway, back to liver cleansing. The reason why we do this morning protocol with lemon water is to help pull out toxins that were ingested the day before. And these toxins could be on toxic skin products, maybe the air that we're ingesting, anything in our environment. It just doesn't have to be food. You can have a really clean diet right now, but there's these sneaky little suckers in our diet. If we travel a lot with denatured foods or lower quality foods, I don't want to make you paranoid. It's just a fact. These things are facts. So what we can do early in the morning, and that's why it's a specific protocol, that you want to have organic preferred real lemons, and you're going to squeeze the juice of half a lemon. You can see each day we build up a little bit more into some purified water and allow it to go through your digestive system. Oftentimes people are like, yeah, Aubrey, I've been drinking lemon water for years. Hold up, wait a minute. This is a very specific protocol, but it's simple. That you are going to use the life force of a real lemon, not like the lemon juice in a plastic container or like a little lemon wedge from a restaurant or even lemon juice that is sitting on the shelf. Ideally a real live lemon that you squeeze in there and your water. I posted a picture earlier. Let it go through your digestive tract, okay? And everybody's a little bit different. It will raise the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. Maybe you need a little bit less. Maybe you need to dilute it. Drop in the comments what you need. I will be here to help you. That is going to help to push out those toxins. Maybe you'll go to the bathroom. Yay. Insert poop emoji there. And then you're going to just wait again. The next part is something that I learned this strange strategy years ago, thanks to the protocol developed by Anthony William, also known as the medical medium. I still, after all these Perfect 10s that I've launched, I still love this protocol. It is so effective. It's ridiculous. It's been so effective for helping me, my clients. I mean, I put myself through this protocol several times before I integrated it into my client's diet. This liver rescue smoothie helps to further the cleansing effects of the liver. Don't be changing the recipe. Don't add your chia seeds and don't be adding your protein powder. That's not the point. So are you ready for the point? The point is to give your liver a break from not only all those other random toxins and stuff, but from things that are slowing it down. Protein is great. Healthy fats are great, but we get so much of them constantly in our diet. That's why intermittent fasting has gotten a great reputation through the years, especially for women, because guess what you're not doing for 16 hours? You ain't eating. So when you fast like that, your liver's like, hey, thank you for not putting that crap in me right now, right? It's like it gets a freaking break. But what happens with intermittent fasting is that we can secrete more adrenaline or cortisol even because it's kind of stressful. You know, you kind of get hangry and you're like annoyed because you're like, oh my gosh, what time is it? We keep checking our watch. And it becomes over time, maybe not the most effective way to continue to lose body fat. All right. So insert liver rescue smoothie. Here we have an all fruit smoothie that really with wild blueberries and with organic banana, coconut water, pitaya powder, it is going to help again further. If you want to look at the recipe itself, I do give a breakdown of what the life force in the food is doing. It is going to help further give your liver that stinking break. But the great thing is you have the carbohydrates for your brain to function. So you're not getting hangry. You can still hold on to an articulate conversation in the morning, feeling good in the hood. So we want to kind of mirror like what a 16-hour fast would be. That's why it's like really important to try your darndest to not have your first protein meal before noon. Because most of us, we're going to be trying to go to bed with the perfect 10 by 10 p.m. Now, if that's not possible, that's all right. Just try to slide your bedtime up earlier because I'm trying to help us all live that perfect 10 lifestyle, keeping things, a lot of the stuff with the number 10. So we're doing this for 10 days. We are going to be doing little things like 10-minute walks after lunch. We can also integrate, our 10 blessings. That's what I wanted to say. Writing down 10 things that we are grateful for. So without going over every single part of this manual, because I don't want to bore you, I want to coach you, right? I want to just give you that further incentive to say, oh, that's why I shouldn't be adding anything to that smoothie in the morning. Now, I already had my liver rescue smoothie, my lemon water. I had a date today, and I also had an apple. For some of us, people might be like, Aubrey, you're blowing my mind. I cannot believe we're eating that much fruit. I'm timing it in that morning protocol, right? And you can see how later in the day, your diet will change. So again, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Try it. Don't knock it before you try it to see how you feel. Okay, so let's see here. I want to get you guys into a different physical state. And do we have any questions coming in? Let me just check that.
No questions at the moment.
Okay, perfect. All right, feel free to ask any questions along the way. But I want to see how you ladies are feeling. Can you drop in the comments if you are ready already to do this? Give me a yes. If you're excited to try something new and different or to get back on track, whatever that might be, give me a yes. All right. The things that we are going to avoid over the next 10 days before I take you onto a little journey here mentally. The things that we are going to avoid are things like alcohol, that slow the liver down. It's another toxin that it has to metabolize. And don't worry, I do like alcohol, but I have tamed my game over the years for sure. If you are a vegetarian, then or a vegan, this does not apply to you. But ideally, if you are not, we're going to try to avoid things that are overly processed, like, different processed, let's say for vegetarians and vegans, there's a lot of different heavily processed, like meat substitutes. All right, so try your best to lean into if it's like an organic tofu or tempeh or anything along those lines that you can make sure that you're integrating. I'm going to try to avoid dairy. I don't have a lot of that in my diet, as well as eggs. Doesn't have to completely be omitted. If you are eating good quality eggs, like pasture raised or organic, great. Otherwise, switch to organic products so that, again, your liver doesn't have to metabolize all that. If you are a coffee drinker, drop in the comments a little coffee emoji, because this does apply to you and you are going to want to listen up. Coffee has over 70 pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, whatever sides, sprayed on it if it's not organic. Think about you drinking a cup of pesticides every day. Boo. So buckle up, ladies. If I catch you through the drive-thru of Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, I'm coming to get you. I want you to make it your own. Make your own coffee. You can add raw honey to it. You can add real maple syrup to it to sweeten it. But what we're trying to do is to say, hey, I'm going to try to avoid those toxins right now. I have had clients just switch their coffee when they start with me to organic, and they've lost weight because of that. They feel better. It makes sense that you don't have mold in your coffee every day. That was a big one for me. That was a big one for me to change. And now I do have recommendations so you can see what coffee I like to drink. I'm a little coffee connoisseur these days. Do I always drink organic coffee? No. If we are out, now we're in a new area in Lake Norman, trying different coffee shops. They have a lot of organic ones here. But if I'm in a new area, I'm not like totally turning up my nose. But the majority of the time, I am making my own coffee, choosing organic, so that can help me out. So ideally, if you can choose organic, whole foods, that is going to support your cause. You're going to get better results. You're going to feel better. Your skin's going to be different. I noticed one of the reasons why I started this protocol was because hormonally, I was struggling hormonally, but it was showing up on my skin, and I was getting really bad adult acne. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? As soon as I switched my coffee, and it was like night and day. It was night and day for my skin. Now, do I still get a pimple here or there? Yeah, I do around my period, but it was nothing of like what it was years past. Okay, so that's that. Did I forget anything, Dan? Because I'm like going rogue.
No, people were Jackie was asking about coffee, so this was a good.
Yeah. Now, I'd love for us to stay really active in this group, posting pictures. You are going to have a homework assignment, which nobody likes the word of homework, so I call it the you work. All right, the work that you do on yourself. I'm going to have I'd love to see different variations of your fun coffees that you can have, maybe some fun teas. During this season, when it is really cold, I encourage you to incorporate warm spices like cinnamon and ginger. If you are a tea drinker, any organic teas would pair nicely with that. Those warm spices will also pair nicely in your foods that you're cooking. Common sense with this program. You can abort the mission at any time if you feel that it's not in alignment with you. But here is where I want to take you next. The radical honesty. Radical honesty with the relationship with yourself. Oftentimes, we deem ourselves the type of person that is a trustworthy friend, a loyal employee, a loving daughter, a supportive sister, right? We want to be that person, a best friend to someone. But what we forget is to apply all those things to ourselves. And there's certain things where you could probably relate to this. If you have a pet, let me know. People, you see this all the time. Well, I treat my pet better than myself. I feed my pet better than myself. So let's go back to your big dub. Why is that? Why are we blowing ourselves off? And to get down to your why requires you to have a duel. Yes. I do have some swords around here. I didn't bring them out. But it's a duel of you versus you in the mirror. A part of this program is to wake up every day anchoring habits, new habits to old ones. So when you get up tomorrow and you look at yourself in the mirror, in the eyeballs, this is a duel of you versus you. The only person that you will let down, and I promise you it's not going to be me, it will be yourself. I have let myself down time and time again. And I want you to be able to take the elevator. That's why I'm offering this program to coach you versus me taking the stairs and falling down them a lot of times. And if I would have learned this technique earlier in my life, I would have been maybe further ahead in life, but I guess I wasn't ready. I was not ready for this. So we're going to do something that will make this plan work, but without it, it won't. If you are not driving, you can do this with me right now. If you are driving, please listen and take this as your first You Work assignment. All right, so wherever you are, I want you to get a quick little drink. Whenever you get some agua in you, that helps to refresh the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve runs along the nape of your neck all the way to your tailbone. It's the rest and digest nerve. And when you swallow, that helps you kind of drop into your body and focus. Blinders are on. Okay. So my friends, I'd like to take you through a very basic breathing exercise. I was toying around with a couple different ones, but this one you technically can do when you're driving, but you'll have to keep your eyes open. Otherwise, we will close them. This breathing technique helps to re-regulate your central nervous system. It's very even and it's simple, and it's called the box breath. The box breath, we are going to be creating a box in our mind's eye where we're inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, exhale 4, holding for 4. Okay, I will coach you through that. But in order to change your physical state right now, and for me to help seal the deal of you starting this new ritual for the next 10 days, we have to change your physiology. Because if we don't, this is not going to work. You have to signal to your being that I am doing something different right now, and I'm going to show up to myself and to this group. So anyway, we will have accountability things in this group. We'll have fun pictures, fun variations of things, all that good stuff. Take advantage of the good part of social media and Facebook. But for right now, we are going to do the box breath. And then, if you can, close your eyes. I'm going to help you get crystal clear on your why. All right, so we begin. Let's take a couple palate cleansers, shall we? We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose consciously. And as you exhale, you're going to swallow. I call that the palate cleanser. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale, swallow. One more time. Exhale, swallow. Okay, let's begin. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 3, 2. Do it again. Bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 3, 2. Go again. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 3. Just a few more times. Bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 3, 2. Last round. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Close your eyes. Relax. In your mind's eye, I'd like you to visualize yourself looking in the mirror, staring at your reflection. As you look at this person in your mind's eye, be curious about her. Smile at her and see her smiling back. Now, I'd like you to time travel with her. You're going to go back to the age when you could conjure up your first positive memory as a child, maybe as a toddler even. Start to see her as this beautiful baby, toddler, or maybe up to 7 years old. The different versions of you that start to come across this mirror that you're staring at. There was a time in your life where you accepted yourself. You didn't worry about food. Probably were very little negative thoughts. But at this time in your life, you knew that you were enough. Just being you. There were no negative influences telling you otherwise. In your mind's eye, I'd like you to imagine your present day self looking at that little girl and giving her a nice tight hug. Allowing her to feel supported, loved, and cared for. That version of you existed, and it still exists. You're proving that as you're seeing these memories that you could bring up, proving to yourself that you're accepted and supported and that you're enough. I want you to thank that little girl as she's here to remind you that she believes in you. Because when you were that young, as that little girl, you were a big dreamer. That you could dream, that you wanted to be anything. Your present day self maybe doesn't match that right now. And that's okay. Because where you are meant to be. You're gonna give that little reflection of you, that little girl, a hug, maybe a kiss, and make a promise to her right now that you're gonna commit to this commitment. You're gonna do it for her, that part of you that's still in there, that self-acceptance, that belief, the feeling that you're already enough. Breathe that belief into her, and she breathes it right back into you. We've all seen a young child look up at us in admiration. Wow, I want to be you someday. See that girl, she wants to be you someday. Don't let her down. Now, the reflection is going to start to change. You're going to start to see the reflection of yourself at the age that you are, but 10 days from when you complete your perfect 10. I want you to think about how proud you are of yourself, because that's great. You should be proud of putting in that work. I want you to see yourself differently, to say, I showed up for you. I didn't blow you off this time. I didn't turn my facts into excuses. See yourself maybe stepping on the scale and the number being different, being the number that you want because you earned it. Start to feel your body differently, how it's lighter, more free energetically. And in my opinion, most importantly, how grateful do you feel at the end of this program that you were able to give yourself this gift? And then when you look back in time at that little girl who's looking up at you in admiration, that you proved her right, because she knew all along that you could do it. You just had to prove it to the present day girl. Now I'd like you to take a deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose and mouth. Let out a little sigh. You're gonna do that again. Inhale and exhale. Do it one more time. Keeping your eyes closed if you can. There's a part of your brain that is telling you, yeah, but. And here's how we're going to deal with it. There's a voice inside of all of us of doubt, disbelief, that we have to parent right now. Or, in case, if you just want to grab it by its scrawny little neck and choke it out, that's fine too. But that voice of doubt and saying, yeah, but you know what, you know how you are, or whatever that voice says, that jerk, this is what we're going to do. And this is the big assignment that will make this program work in its entirety. And it's called the stop sign technique. Right now, in your mind's eye, visualize a stop sign. See the words S-T-O-P, stop. Continue to see that. Every time that you hear that voice, or you feel the quickening in your body to lean in to a habit that you know is not on protocol, it's not conducive for your goal right now. It's not a forever thing, it's just right now. You're gonna visualize that stop sign, and you're gonna put next to it, stop. I am a perfect 10. It might sound funny right now, but have fun with this. Stop. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm doing the perfect 10. Stop, Aubrey. Would a perfect 10 do that? Stop. So that stop sign, and you can clap your hands with me right now. Stop is going to get your subconscious mind's attention to say, no, we are stopping. We are pausing before we make this choice. I'm going to choose the choice to get me to feel like a perfect 10 on the 10th day of this program. Now take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, let out that sigh again. You can continue to see that stop sign. And I want you to see the words that follow it. Stop, I am a perfect 10. Exhale, do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Now, ladies, you can start to flutter your eyes open if you'd like, or keep them closed. Take a moment just to rub your arms, bring yourself back to the moment, rub your hands. Start to feel your body, what it feels like right now. Maybe more centered and grounded. This stop sign technique was not created by me. All right, this was created by one of the world's most effective hypnotherapists. And her name is Dr. Doris Cohen. This stop sign technique is meant to be so simple for our human brains. Don't knock it until you try it. So your homework tonight, you're going to get sticky notes. And you are going to write on a sticky note, stop! I am a perfect 10. Now, you can change it. I have different versions of this. I might say, stop, Aubrey, you are enough. But what I'm looking for is this. And what you're going to post next to it, if you want to take it to the next level, I got a couple pictures of here when I was a little baby. Oh, isn't she cute? My son looks like me. Stop. So I've like this one. I found one when I was 7. That's typically where we start to view ourselves a little differently at the age of 7, when we don't feel as happy because our brainwave changes. We have more beta brainwave states at that point. So I found a picture of me and my sister. And I remember just loving her to pieces. So I want to show up for this gal. And I also have other things, like a little picture of my son. Now, these things are going to be really important. I'm going to suggest you put your stop, I'm a perfect 10, in your bathroom mirror and other places, maybe in your car mirror. I think a big, powerful one is in your pantry. How many of you got kids? You got some kids? How many times people are like, but Warwick, my kids, they're eating this kid food. I always relate it to this. I tell myself, Aubrey, this is kid food. I relate it sometimes to like pet food. Aubrey, would you eat pet food? Probably not. Not even if I was really, really hungry. So stop. Does this align with my goals right now? Guys, food is not falling off the face of the earth. Your kryptonite food is not falling off the face of the earth. Sometimes we probably wish it would. But I want you to put these so that you can remember to stop, literally clap, stop. Wait a minute. Does this align with my goals? I am a perfect 10. And I would like you to drop in the comments this. What is your kryptonite right now? Do we all know what kryptonite is? Yeah, Superman's weakness. My kryptonite, I would say for me right now would be, I like to have 2 alcoholic beverages a week. I like to have my Negroni or another fancy drink. So my kryptonite right now is going to be that. On Friday or Saturday, I'm going to be leaning into this group and being like, hey, y'all, or yins, whatever. Hey, you guys, I need some love. I just turned down my favorite drink of the week, which is a Negroni. Okay. Or maybe it's bigger than that. Maybe it's pizza night where you're like, Aubrey, I love to put down like 4 or 5 slices. Or maybe it's every day. You're like, I need support every darn day. Hell yeah, show up for that little girl. Show up for this group. And we are going to help you get through it. Even if you don't do the perfect 10 perfectly, I guarantee you're going to have results because you are doing things differently than what you were yesterday. Gang, today is a new day. Today is a fresh start. And above all, I believe in you. I am here to help you believe in yourself 1 ounce more. So I want to know what our kryptonite food is, or maybe our kryptonite behavior is. Okay. Drop that in the comments.
Ice cream, sweets.
Ice cream.
Crackers or cookies late evening.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about this. Okay. So here's the deal. Let's remedy this. All right. Well, if it's ice cream, cake, cookies, whatever, if you are able to not have it in the house, that's going to help support your cause, right? Because right now you might not have strengthened the anterior mid-cingulate cortex enough, right? Because a lot of times people brush it off and they're like, oh, I just don't have the willpower. Well, we have to get you there. We have to strengthen your willpower muscle, the AMC, in order to have it in the house. Gang, there was a time I could not have peanut butter in the house. I would sniff it out and you would be like, who the hell would eat like a whole jar of peanut butter? Me. And you know how bad that makes you feel? That all that fat in your gut? I look back and I was like, Warwick, were you crazy? Were you cray-cray? And to that I say, yes. Part of that is true. But I came out of it on the other end. So if there's food in your house that you can like get out of sight, out of mind, that's going to help support your cause. Keep that simple. If you're like, yeah, Aubrey, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do it. Okay, well, this is what I like you to do then. You better put them sticky notes on that dang ice cream. If you lean into those triggers right now, let's say, you know, maybe you work in a restaurant, maybe you work at a bar and it's like, oh, that's really, really hard. All right. You're going to have to utilize these techniques today from Perfect 10 to build up like an armor, an energetic armor. Oftentimes we like to test ourselves as human beings. Like, oh, I've been so good for 3 days. Let's go to this, I don't know. Let's see what would be like, oh, let's go to an Italian restaurant. And then we end up ordering, you know, the pizza that was just too high in fat right now for Perfect 10. Our liver's like, hey, I thought you were going to give me a break. That was just too much cheese. I can't do it. Okay. Only temporary, right? But you tested yourself too soon. Hashtag too soon. I wish I would have known that when I was younger. Like, Aubrey, you don't suck, Aubrey. It's just like, you didn't strengthen that yet. It's like me saying, I want to do 10 pull-ups and I can't even do a bicep curl. Right? I'm going too far in before I can even get to part 1. So speaking of that, we are going to be talking about workouts too, which is in your manual. All right. So with the ice cream, with the booze, with the sweets, the other protocol of this, we have a lot of fruit in the diet, especially medjool dates are wonderful to kick cravings. So make sure if you need more fruit earlier in the day, to have that, look up at the Perfect 10 recipes. It's a clickable link in your PDF of different like P10 approved recipes that you can integrate to help curb a sweet tooth. I will tell you, I used to eat a half or one chocolate bar a night with my husband. It's always at night. And now that I have incorporated more fruit in my diet, when was the last time we had chocolate?
It's been years.
It's been years. And I'm not dissing chocolate. I'm not saying like never ate chocolate. But I'm like, oh, look at all the lead that's in chocolate. Why am I eating lead every day? Doy. So that can also help. Give yourself that time, right? The other thing I like to share with people is that any type of sugar is a white, refined, powdery substance. Think about what cocaine is, all right? Now, I've never done cocaine. Don't plan on it anytime soon. But there was a study that was done in 2007 on Berkeley University with lab rats, of course. And the study, actually, they wanted to see what was more addictive. Was it sugar? Was it cocaine? Was it sucralose? And those little suckers actually turned down the cocaine over the sucralose and the sugar. Yeah. So that's how addictive it can be. All right. But don't worry. You're perfect 10, baby. You got this. You were going to say something?
Some other challenges people mentioned was larger portions, stress eating, weekend drinks.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So the other part of the protocol with Perfect 10, I want you to just note, typically in the day with our circadian rhythm, it's cell biology, gang. Earlier in the day, we are in a happy mood. We have all the willpower in the world. And then as night falls, Cookie Monster comes out. And also that little jerk voice that's like, yeah, but this is comfortable. Don't shrink me. And it's time to put baby to bed. Do you know, like as a little baby, right? At some point you're crying and you're cranky, but now you're an adult and you're not crying, or maybe you are, but that's okay too. But maybe at the end of the day, it's like you just need to go the F to sleep. And I want you to look at the time of the day that you're starting to crave this. So as soon as that sun goes down, there are certain things that your body craves. This is where you want to lean into the Perfect 10 snacks, some of the hot beverages that you can make that are caffeine free. I can also post some things that I like to integrate. But again, warming spices and teas in the evening can absolutely help that. Having a wind down time is crucial, and also not starving yourself earlier in the day. So portion sizes are going to be very vital. Get a food scale. If you do not have a food scale, then you are pissing in the wind. You need to measure this stuff, because oftentimes people will skimp their protein sizes when we have lunch and dinner. Maybe you need 6 ounces of protein at lunch, like me. Maybe you need 6 ounces of protein at dinner, like me, in order to feel that your meal is complete. Oftentimes we become like little scavengers, right? We're just like, oh man, I just need to like go into the refrigerator and get whatever is calling my name that's not conducive to my goals. And we lean into that because we did not have a complete satiating meal for lunch or dinner. So I want you to make sure you look at that, increase your protein sizes, making sure the meal is complete, having steamed vegetables, having these other recipes that's going to help you, and also get off your electronic device 10 minutes before bedtime. This is going to help with melatonin production. Actually, it should be 30 minutes, but it's the Perfect 10, so, bear with me. 10 minutes before bedtime, get your freaking phone in airplane mode. Get it out of the room. This is also going to help improve your deep sleep. Yes, it will. And when you have those things improved, your body is actually calmer and it's not agitated looking for a coping mechanism. Insert sugar, kryptonites, alcohol. Can I get a firebomb on that? Throw me some fire. Okay. Anything else dropping in there?
That was the most of it, yeah.
That was most of it. Okay. So who's ready for lunch? Freaking ready. All right. All right, gang. We covered a lot. I hope that this was really, really helpful. I want to hear more comments from you, but let's recap this. Your assignment today is to make sure that you have the Perfect 10 mindset. And in order to have that, we have built a foundation to establish your why. to also post your U work. I will have a pinned comment and I'll say, yo, P10 family, drop in the comments a picture of you where you posted your stop on a perfect 10. Okay, so I want to offer some prizes for you gals by doing this, because if I don't, then are you gonna do it? The real prize is gonna be in 10 days, right? And I want you also, please share with me your results, because if you don't plan on signing up for one-on-one coaching, that's fine, but throw me a tip jar, gang, and share with me. You could blur out your head, your before and afters and your results. Don't go into stealth mode and keep all those results to yourself. Greedy! Don't be so greedy. I will keep your head out of it, but I would love to hear your results, because today the catch is I am holding these free challenges so you know what it is I do, who the heck I am, do these techniques even work, and you just might need more than 10 days. So that I always offer a special deal on my Envision program, my one-on-one coaching. We'll talk about that later. Now, you have to show up tomorrow. You got to show up to glow up, because tomorrow is all about the perfect 10 assets and a little body admiration. We are going to talk about your workouts. We're going to get moving. I got a new kitchen in the back here, so maybe we'll show up and do a little kitchen stuff if you want, if you would like. I'm up for that. But we are going to talk about not just your perfect 10 exercises, but I want to take those perfect 10 exercises and I want to 10x them. Yeah, so we are going to be integrating tempo training tomorrow that you can sprinkle in with any part of your movement. Okay, so that will be day 2. Make sure you're getting my emails. Make sure you're catching the replays. Make sure you show up for that little girl and also for the woman 10 days from now. You're showing up for her. I know that you can do this. All right, gang. Have the best day possible. I look forward to the activity and the connection in this group. Ciao for now.